Hi there and welcome to KWM Wine. I'm Andrew and I'm going to taste you through a new arrival for us, Chateau 1804, and it's from the Cabardes or Cabardes region of southwest France. So I'm going to call it Cabardes, I think is how you pronounce it properly. I'm not entirely sure, but Cabardes is in that southwest France region, just north of the city of Carcassonne. It's an interesting region. It's very, very small appellation. It's a relatively new appellation as well, being around about 20 years old in making, I suppose. Prior to that, it would have been maybe VDQS, or what would have been called a VDQS area at that point. So still very small, maybe only about 500 or 600 hectares of vines. But what's really interesting about the wines from Cabardes is that they are like a crossing point between the Mediterranean influence of southwest France and the sort of Atlantic influence of southwest France. So the Atlantic influence of southwest France will be your sort of Bordeaux and your Bergeracs and things like that. So you'd be great varieties like Cabernet Sauvignon and Merlot and things like that. And then in the Mediterranean influence, which is more the Languedoc-Roussillon, where this is just on the northwest edge of, would be more your Syrah and Grenache. So this particular wine is quite typical of Cabernet in that fact, where the grape varieties sort of come together. So it's a blend of about 50% between Cabernet Sauvignon and Merlot and 50% between Syrah and Grenache. So quite a unique blend in the wine world, I guess, because these are not varieties you'll often see in the one blend, I suppose, you know. You'll see Cabernet Syrahs or Cabernet Shirazes maybe in Australia. Of course, there's many Cabernet Merlots, there's many Syrahs and Grenaches, but maybe not so many all linked together. Now, I really quite like the packaging as well in this here. I think it's a really step forward for France and this particular producer. Often is the case, French wines, the labels are terrible, but this is nice shelf appeal. So colour wise, when you pour it out, it has nice medium weight, bright sort of ruby edge to it. It's 2016, so it's just over 2 years old at this point. It's now sort of early 2019. Nice colour. Very appealing nose. Initially you get sort of a juicy raspberry sort of black currant style fruit with a bit of violety notes going on. A little bit of soft spice in there. So all those grape varieties are sort of playing together. And this particular area as well is kind of remote and has really rocky soils, a lot of clay, a lot of limestone as well, but really remote, higher altitude, rocky soils, and that all sort of starts to feed in and comes into the wine then essentially. Medium weight. It's got that bit of grip that you like from those sort of southwestern France wines. Great food wine, great to finish after food, lovely with a little bit of cheese or something like that. Hard cheese would go quite well with it. But wines with plenty of character, plenty of soul, speak of where they come from. You can sort of imagine yourself being in those sort of rocky hills of southwest France. It's an area I personally visited last year when I was on my holidays. I was in this sort of part of France, and it is absolutely beautiful, wild and rugged, and all that sort of garrigue sort of style, herbs and growing wild in the mountains and in the area around there. Lovely vineyards up in big escarpments and brilliant views. It's a beautiful place to visit if you ever get the opportunity in that southwestern corner of the Languedoc and Carcassonne as an area. Beautiful, beautiful part of the world. So Chateau 1804, it's coming in at a cracking value at the minute. Like this is going to be probably selling around £11–12. And for wines in around that part of France, I think it's offering really exceptional value for money. Really interesting drink. So there you go. Next time you're having something casserole, stew, fancy a good rustic red wine from southwest France for a bit of cheese or something like that, try the Chateau 1804 Cabernet. It's really a good purchase. All right, so there you go, kwmwine.com, place where taste matters. Cheers.